It's just another sell-off, isn't it? Or is it? Is it? Let's find out. Hey up everyone, welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. I'm Vaz. Do you know what time it is? It's time to start talking eVTOLs. And I've got some updates on Archer. Well, are these updates? There are updates, there are milestones, there are some price targets. There is some eVTOL market review, the whole overall sentiment, but we will get to that shortly. Those who just joined me, you are watching Martyn Lucas Investor. I'm Vaz, and I will guide you through the coming weeks and months of Archer Aviation, and I will pinpoint certain milestones that I believe are going to happen on a certain timeline. So hopefully we've got some Archer investors. First of all, I will address this later. Let me know in the chat, are you invested in Archer and what is your average? Don't tell me your position, don't tell me your how much money, how many houses you've sold and how much money you've invested into Archer, but let me know your average. I'm very interested in your average. Let me just check something if the audio is coming through. Yes, it is. Okay, so what we've got on? Well, first of all, we've got a chart. Archer closed about at the position of 840, 850, which is not bad. Slight recovery from last week. However, we can see some more development. And is Archer actually going down to 7? It's more than likely, because in the coming weeks, they will not be so pleasant for the eVTOL market. And I will explain why. What I've got here on the screen is my notes. Yes, I'm using AI, I'm using ChatGPT, but I'm not using it for research or anything. Look, these are my notes. They are very messy, full of typos. Yeah, so I just chuck it in there and I get this nice format, which also is full of mistakes, believe it or not. That's why I don't use ChatGPT or any AI for research. It's all up here. I use it for formatting and proofreading. So what we've got here, the main reason why Archer is down and might go down to the levels between $8 and $7. I'm not saying it will go down to all the way down to 7, but it will go probably below 8 in the coming weeks. The eVTOL market sentiment. What is going on? Well, if you look at the chart, this is the year's sort of containment of the whole Archer development. So last year, end of the year, we were buying Archer for peanuts for the level between $3 and $4. Then there was some good news, a lot of catalyst. We went all the way up to. This is, by the way, the carry trade as well in October. That's on the back of the macroeconomical sentiment and headwinds. But then we went all the way up to 950, another retraction, and there was a lot of news, a lot of hype. Again, both Archer and Joby were spiking. Vertical aerospace, along with that, you could be buying vertical aerospace around $15. Joby, I think, was the highest of Joby was around between 10 and 11. So both stocks did good job. Then there was a bit of a cool-off, sell-off, and then again, another hype. Then we started the tariff wars, and we got, again, all the way below $6. How about that? And then, again, more hype around the Olympics announcement. There were more news from Archer Aviation and Adam Goldstein, the CEO. But we went all the way to 13, and we almost touched the $14 mark. This was the time when we had the Olympics. There was the time, the Olympics announcement. There was the time when we had the short report. Massive hype for nothing. And then it started cooling off. And again, recently, another hype, another spike, all the way up to $14. And now we are on a downtrend. So why is this downtrend? Well, over here, we've got the earnings call. That is around, I think that's here, this dip. And there was a slight recovery. No, sorry, the earnings call is here. There was a slight recovery, and now we are on a downtrend. So this has got nothing to do with Archer. This has got nothing to do with Joby. Well, it does, but they are not doing anything wrong. There's not enough catalyst. There's not enough has nothing to fuel the positive sentiment of the stock. As you can see, last year, here, before Christmas, a lot of news on the whole eVTOL market, not only Archer, but Joby, Vertical, EHang, a lot of news, a lot of positive news. The sentiment was going up, 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 up. That's why there was so much hype. And again, it started cooling off, tariff wars, and again, there were the news about the Olympics. Archer went all the way down to 13, 14, all the way up to 13, 14, and then again, it started cooling off. So, there is not enough catalyst for the sentiment, for the investor sentiment. Also, this is something that could be a bit of conspirational theories, but since Archer and Joby are very good investments now, they are very well established, they are very close, yeah, I see it, Martin, thank you. They are very close to their revenue phase. They are the very last few moments before their revenue phase. They are still in pre-revenue phase, but they are very close to it. And since we have good prospect, which can become making money in next quarter or two, I could see this as the price is getting manipulated, so more institutions can jump in. This could also be something that could be happening behind the scenes, which we don't see. So I think Archer can go under $8, and it can, if the macro sentiment is no good, it can go all the way down to 7. I don't think we will break below 7, and I think in the coming weeks, actually weeks, we can see some good news that will start building the price up. So let's have a look. Let's have a look into that. And I've been telling you, well, I can't really say I've been telling you, or I was right, because I was about 4 months off. I was about 4 months away. I was expecting, and I've told you on multiple live shows, that the eVTOL market will cool off. But I saw it coming somewhere here around March, and yeah, I missed it by about 4 or 5 months. However, it is now finally happening. And once this is gone, I don't think we will be able to buy Archer for these prices, $7 and $8. So this could be a good entry point for you as a long-term investor. This is not a financial advice. This is just my own opinion, my own information I've soaked in, my own research. I'm talking to people behind the scenes as well. I've got some contacts, and this is what I see happening. That's why I'm giving you this little live stream, this little investor handbook, as I called it. So we can expect this to continue for a few weeks before the catalyst will reignite interest. Important for retail investor, this quiet period can feel painful. I know we have some people who were buying Archer for $13, $14, almost $14 on the hype. I remember when I did a live show with Sensei, people were telling us off that we are stupid. We are telling to people not to buy Archer for $13. There you are. There you are. How stupid were we? But it often sets up opportunities. So let's have a look quickly at the price. I'm not going to give you the chart analysis. I'm no good. Well, we have better person for that. We have Sensei. So if you tune in to one of his shows and ask him nicely, he might do full chart analysis on Archer. But what we've got, the Archer stock could still dip further into the $7 to $8 range. For long-term investors, a recovery from those levels could be very rewarding, as we know. I've got some price targets. So we have Cantor Fitzgerald, $13, 12 months target, and it's a buy for them. Deutsche Bank, $13, benchmark, $12. These are just highlights. However, we have investor website consensus ranges that give us better range. It's not all so positive. It's not all around $12, $13. We also have range from $4.50 to $18. Some analysts can see Archer as sell, and some analysts are giving very low price targets. However, Archer, I don't know why, because Archer is still in pre-revenue phase. However, we are probably 2 quarters away from becoming not profitable, but from becoming generating some money, some income. And their financial runway, we know from the earnings call that they have over 1.5 billion in cash on their balance sheet. And that's telling me, looking at their current cash burn quarterly, that's telling me they have enough money for another comfortable 6-7 quarters. And by the time, Archer might be even profitable. So I don't understand these down ratings. I would like to see some analysis. I will have a look into this, because I want to know what is making these analysts telling that Archer is sell. Because I would like to see it. So the takeaway, the consensus is between 12 and 13. Bullish, very bullish cases are $18. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit $18 on a spike like we had this year. Instead of 14 and 13, we could be easily touching $18, $19. I wouldn't be surprised next year. No way. I would be surprised. So we have key milestones. And this is one of the reasons why I don't use AI, because it's processed my notes and I said about one mentionable event, and it sort of clicked on the LA Olympics. This is not about the LA Olympics. I'll give you a little cue. It's about Mid-East. Archer are taking part in one of the biggest events for the eVTOL market of this year. It won't be only Archer. There will be Archer, Joby, EHang, Volocopter, Beta. I'm not sure whether Vertical are going to be there. I haven't got the answer from them, but there might be, there might not. There'll be multiple companies that are not publicly traded, and they have, they need to achieve something on the show, on the event. The event is Dubai Air Show, and there will be multiple piloted flights. There'll be multiple piloted presentations. And since this will be successful, that means the investor sentiment will be going up. And I think this will be, end of the year, will be pivoting around the Mid-East. Not around certification, not around aircraft delivery. It'll be pivoting around the Mid-East. And I will tell you why. We have 6 aircraft currently in production. We know this from the earnings call across the 2 manufacturing facilities. We have 3 aircraft in the new ARC production line in Georgia. So we know this is already fitted with machines. This is fitted with the assembly line. 6 aircraft. Archer said these aircraft will be used for certification, testing, and first deliveries to the customers by the end of the year. What I see coming out of these 6 aircraft is the November 704 Alpha Xavier. I believe this will be the first piloted eVTOL produced and flown by Archer Aviation. So this will be fully transition capable midnight. And I think we are not so far away. The deadline, the event, the Dubai Air Show is taking place mid-November. So we are, what, 8 weeks away from that? If Archer need to fly, or want to fly their aircraft on the show, on the event, they need to test it beforehand. So if they want to fly it successfully and safely, so they need to test it beforehand. And it won't be one test flight and then boom, off to the show. They need to achieve multiple test flights. So I think probably, that's just my own estimate, my long shot, might not be so long, but I see between 3 and 5 weeks, we finally see, I've been propheting this for a couple of months now, we'll finally see that first eVTOL piloted aircraft. So give it 3 to 5 weeks and you will see the price will start going up. As you can see, it's highlighted as a huge sentiment catalyst. Again, I've got it in my messy notes full of typos. I've got it nicely formatted here. Archer have been stacking pretty much daily CTOL flights with the November 703 Alpha Xavier aircraft. We know that the eVTOL flight and the full transition consists of vertical takeoff and landing and horizontal flight and the actual transition. CTOL stands for conventional takeoff and landing. So we are flying our eVTOL as if it was a fixed wing aircraft. However, Archer have been achieving good success, good progress, and they recently pushed their aircraft over 30 miles. So that's some good news. The aircraft is probably performing closer and closer to what Archer are expecting from this aircraft. Again, once we see that November 704 Alpha Xavier outside, even without flying it, there will be enough catalyst to start swinging the stock price. Again, this is not financial advice, but be prepared for it. Be prepared for it, and once we see the aircraft out and flying, it might be too late again. So, the near-term catalyst. Also, around the Dubai Air Show, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some new contracts coming out of the show. So by mid-November, Archer, it's in their best interest to commence their actual test flights in Mid-East. We know they have commenced their test flights. You could see it in the video here. It was a test flight. It was a test flight. It was a legitimate test flight, but it's got nothing to do with testing. It was just a PR stunt, and it was just so they can put a pin into the roadmap, and they can put a pin. We have commenced our venture in the Mid-East. However, I think in October we will see the first aircraft actually testing being placed and located in Mid-East for the actual testing. So again, once they commence the actual testing, another bit of fuel into the investor sentiment. And then, as I already mentioned, Archer has a long financial runway, so the finances shouldn't be an issue. We have coming earnings call for the third quarter. It's about a month away as well. Looking at it historically, we are about 4 or 5 weeks away. If Archer announce some good news, certification progress, if they announce more aircraft in production, if they announce new contract, if they announce commencement of the Mid-East venture, again, there will be enough fuel to the investor sentiment. Regulatory context. This is something that a lot of attention has been paid to this recently, just because of the deadline. So what's going on? Those who follow us regularly, you know this was big news on our channel, the big drone bill by Donald Trump. What's going on? Well, Donald Trump, on the 6th of June this year, he signed a bill that is in favor of adaptation of autonomous aircraft, drones, delivery drones, cargo drones, eVTOL and eVTOLs as well into the American airspace. So this obviously goes on the back of the air traffic control rebuild, which is already underway, and part of this project was the pivoting phase with the eVTOL manufacturers. So what's happened? It required FAA to issue a request for proposals within 90 days from the eVTOL manufacturers. These applications involve states, cities, and tribes partnering with private companies like Archer to propose real-world pilot projects. For Archer, it means direct pathway to the FAA-backed pilot projects. And there was a deadline. There was a deadline on the 3rd of September or 6th of September. It's gone now, so no doubt Archer, Joby, Whisk, Beta, and others have submitted their applications. And they are the greatest candidates for this. However, there is another 120 days. And it works out to December 25 until the FAA can select partners for these pilot projects. So again, It won't be next week, probably, more than likely. It won't be the following week. It will be towards the end of the year. And this could be massive catalyst for any company, publicly traded company, picked by the FAA. Because it's in their favor. They'll be there first to be adapted into the American airspace. And then obviously first quarter 26, pilot projects expected to be underway. Saying that, this could mean that there will be actually eVTOLs and actual flying taxis flying in the American cities as early as first quarter 26. And then defense engagement. At this moment, it's just a noise. There's a lot of Archer investors who cling onto this. Short term, it means nothing because there is a lot of work behind the curtains. We can't see behind the scenes. They are protected by NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. They are protected by strategic reasons, safety reasons as well, if we are talking about defense. So nothing, unless we have a massive leak, unexpected of information or updates, this will not be driving the price of Archer, the stock price, in short term. Probably not this year. And then LA Olympics. We might see some updates, and this could finally drive Archer up in the investors and the public eyes as well. It could drive Archer up. Currently, it's still elusive. We did Archer special, and we assessed that the lowest case when Archer will be transporting athletes on the main event of the Olympics, athletes and VIPs and officials, they can get away with as low as 20 for 2 dozens of aircraft. On the opposite end, in the heavy case, when they need to cover most of the events of the Team USA and say the final events of each discipline, we are talking lower hundreds. We are talking the region between 200 and 300 aircraft. So hopefully we will get some more guidance at least on it. I don't think we will hear, yes, we will fly 30 flights a day or this and the other, but at least if we get some indication of what events will be covered or to what extent this will be covered, that could be very positive for Archer as well. So if you are invested in Archer, let me just check the chat if we have anyone who tributed. We've got new trough recovery 11 average. Let me know your average again. I think you missed it in the chat. Let me know your average. So we have few things along the way. We have assessed that the eVTOL market is cooling off because there's not enough positive sentiment. It will change in the coming weeks. It can change as early as next week, but I don't see this coming yet because we already established there's a runway for the first eVTOL transition aircraft, piloted transition aircraft, which is probably estimated. Baker Hughes, you've got $5 average. Congratulations. We know that the aircraft is coming in the time frame between 3 and 5 weeks. Again, this is my estimate, but let's just go with this. So 3 to 5 weeks, we will start seeing some hints on the aircraft. We have the Mid-East test flight and the Mid-East venture. That will be starting around October. Again, my own estimate, my own forecast, but let's go with this for the purpose of this video. And then we have the Dubai Air Show in November. And Archer, it's in their favor. It's in their interest that they are already operating and flying their test flights in the Mid-East by the time the air show is up. So you can put the time frame, you can put a timeline together as we talk about it, and you can see it. We are not talking when it comes to commencing your test flights, we are not talking days. We have to be talking weeks, maybe months, because there are preparations, there are certifications, a lot of paperwork, this and the other. So it's not a short term. It's not that they roll out their aircraft tomorrow and they say, boom, we fly. There's a lot of going on. So these are the three things. And then next year, early next year, we know that the Mid-East will be adapting the eVTOL concept. The Mid-East will be adapting Joby in Dubai and Archer in Abu Dhabi. Along with that, there'll be EHang, there'll be Beta Technologies, there'll be Volocopter, and there'll be few more. Once they start flying operational flights, even as a trial, this will be massive catalyst for the eVTOL market. And you will see it on the stock price. Again, it's not financial advice, just my insights, my own opinions, and how I will be, I don't want to say planning and timing my trades, but I'm waiting and following this guidance, this timeline. So what I said at the beginning of the video, we can buy Archer as low as $7. Likely, but anything around $8, I think is good price now. Again, this is not financial advice, but to me, personally, it's a good price. And we might not be able to buy Archer for $8 again. Because if you look at the chart, it's been going up, up, up. We had this carry trade last year. The level, the bottom was around $3, between 3 and 4. Then we went up, and in January, there was 8. Okay? Then we had the new lowest low. That was around between $5 and $6. Now, I think we are in this region, 8 to 7, and it won't go any lower in my eyes. And then the next region could be $10, $11, if not higher. So again, this is not financial advice. It's just my own opinion. I've been following the market. You know who are watching me often. You know I follow the market very closely and thoroughly. So, is there any news about the Underrail and if it will IPO this year? No news yet. No updates. Again, once we get some more updates about Underrail, we will dedicate a lot of airtime to this on this channel. But no, nothing yet. So this is my own timeline I'm working to. Again, this is not financial advice. If you like this topic, if you like Archer Aviation, don't forget to hit the like button and consider subscription, because we are following Archer and the eVTOL market pretty much daily on this channel. I'm the face of the eVTOL market. I'm Vaz, and thank you for joining me. Hopefully you find some interesting and useful information. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or if you disagree. I would like to hear back from you. And then I'll be relapsing to this as we have the news coming out, as we are meeting these milestones. So stay tuned. If you stay where you are, that will take you... just let me just check something. I'm good to go. Right. If you stay where you are, that will take you to the premiere of Sensei's video. Very interesting. I saw it before my show. Definitely go for it. I'm not telling you what it's about. You'll be surprised. Go for it. It's one of the better Sensei's videos. Just saying. That's it for now. Thank you for staying with me. If you are watching this video, here is my Archer playlist and eVTOL. And here is another video related to this topic. That's it for now. Take care of yourselves and each other.